I saw an angel coming down with a key of the bottomless pit to set the spirit free. He sees the dragon, that ancient dark snake, and bound him for 1,000 years for the justice sake. He threw him in the deep, and he shut up the door until the time of the nations was troubled no more. The 1,000 years in the early dawn, when the shadow of the tempter is finally gone. They lived and they reigned with the King of the Light in the first resurrection and the radiant sight. Blessed and holy is the one who has a part with the peace of the Master in the human heart. The second death has no power over those who are true, walking in the morning and the early dew. They shall be priests of God and the Christ on the throne. In the quietest peace that the world has known, the 1,000 years, the first resurrection, stay chill in the rain. He showed me a pure river of the water of the life, flowing from the throne, away from the strife, clear as the crystal in the early morning glow, watching all the mercy of the Spirit flow. In the middle of the street and on either side of the stream, like the waking moment of a beautiful dream. The tree of life in the early dawn, when the hunger of the Spirit is finally gone, bearing 12 fruits each and every single month, giving of the life from the holy living fount. The leaves of the tree are for the healing of the folk, breaking the power of the heavy dark yoke. And no more the pain under the reflection of the morning rain. The throne of the Lamb shall be there in the light, turning the darkness into the sight. The river of crystal, the tree of life, stay chill in the healing. I was given a reed like a measuring rod to measure the temple and the altar of God, and I will give power to my witnesses too, walking in the light and the morning blue, clothed in the sackcloth for 1,000 days, following the rhythm of the Master's ways. The 2 olive trees in the morning air, a witness of fire and a silent prayer. They shut up the sky so the rain doesn't fall, standing for the truth and the Father's call. Though they fall in the street, they will rise on their feet when the victory of heaven is finally complete. Great fear fell on the people who saw the breath of the Spirit and the holy law. Come up here, said the voice from the light, turn in the darkness into the sight. The 2 olive trees measure in the temple, stay chill in the witness. fifth angel poured his bowl on the throne of the beast and the darkness that the world has known. They gnawed their tongues in pain in the middle of the night, but they didn't turn away to the morning light. The sixth angel poured on the Euphrates stream, and the water dried up like a morning dream. The way for the kings of the rising sun before the final battle has finally begun. Three unclean spirits, like the frogs from the mouth, calling all the nations from the north and the south to the place called Armageddon. In the early glow, watching all the secrets of the Spirit flow. Behold, I come as a thief, is the word of the one. In the radiant light of the morning sun, blessed is the man who stays awake and bright, turning the darkness into the sight. The way for the kings, the spirits like frogs, stay chill in the watching. I saw the Lamb open the first of the seals, the mystery of the ages that the Spirit reveals. Come, said the voice like a thunder in the sky, under the gaze of the morning eye. A white horse appeared with a bow and a crown, conquering the world and the cities and the towns. The white and red horses in the early light, moving the pieces in the middle of sight. The second seal opened and a red horse came out to take away the peace with a battle shout. A great sword was given to the rider on the flame, following the rhythm of the holy name. Nations and the power to the sword, under the shadow of the living Lord. The morning has come and the seals are undone, in the quiet reflection of the eternal sun. The white and red horses, conquest and the sword, stay chill as the seals open. Another angel came from the temple on high with a sharp, sharp sickle under the sky. And the angel of fire called out with a shout, the clusters of the vine are ready to come out. So the vine of the earth was gathered in the light, turning the morning into the sun. The winepress of wrath outside of the town, where the pride of the nations is finally down. Blood flowed from the press like a river so deep, while the rest of the world was beginning to sleep. The justice is measured by the Spirit's own hand, across the sea and across the land. Time of the sorting in the golden blue hour, witnessing the wisdom and the Spirit's power. The morning stays steady and the truth is so clear, casting away the shadow and the fear. The winepress of wrath, grapes of the vine, stay chill as the grapes are pressed. Come, I will show you the judgment of the one sitting on many waters under the morning sun. A woman on a scarlet beast with 7 heads of pride, clothed in purple and gold, with the shadows at her side. On her forehead was a name, a mystery so deep, while the rest of the nations were beginning to sleep. The mystery of Babylon in the early light, testing the patience and the Spirit's sight. The kings of the earth drank the wine of her hand, spreading the shadow across the golden land. But the 10 horns shall hate her and leave her so bare, under the justice of the morning air. overcome them, for he is Lord of lords, higher than the empires and the vanity's course. Those who are with him are the chosen and true, walk in the morning and the early dew. The mystery of Babylon, the woman and the beast, stay chill in the discernment. A great sign appeared in the morning sky, a woman clothed with the sun as the clouds went by. The moon was under her feet, and a crown upon her head of 12 stars of glory that the Spirit had spread. She was crying out in pain to give birth to the Son, the greatest of the stories that the morning had won. The woman clothed with the sun in the early glow, watching all the wisdom of the Spirit flow. A great red dragon stood with the 7 heads of pride, waiting for the child by the woman's side. But her son was caught up to the eternal throne, the greatest of the kings that the world has known. She fled into the desert to a place prepared by God, far away from the shadow and the heavy iron rod. 1,200 days she's nourished in the light, turning the darkness into the sight. The woman clothed with the sun, a great sign in heaven, stay chill in the beauty. There shall be no more curse in the city of the King, where the spirit of the faithful is allowed to sing. The throne of the Father and the Lamb shall be there, with the scent of the mercy in the morning air. His servants shall serve him in the middle of the light.
turn in the morning into the eternal sight. They shall see his face in the early dawn, when the shadow of the distance is finally gone. His name shall be written on the forehead of the brave, walking the border of the spirit and the grave. There shall be no more night, and no need of the sun, in the radiant presence of the Eternal One. The Lord God gives them light for the ever and the more, opening the beauty of the heavens' door. They shall reign forever in the golden blue hour, witnessing the wisdom and the Spirit's power. They shall see his face, no more night. Stay chill in the vision.
I saw another angel flying in the height with the everlasting gospel in the morning light, to preach to every nation and every tribe and tongue the greatest of the melodies that the Spirit has sung. Fear God and give him glory, for his judgment is near, casting away the shadow and the fear. 3 angels in flight in the early dawn, before the final shadow of the world is drawn. Babylon is fallen, the second angel cried, while the third one warned of the beast and the pride. Here is the patience of the saints of the day, following the rhythm of the Master's way. They keep the commandments and the faith of the Son. In the middle of the battle that is nearly won, the smoke of the torment may rise for a while, but the Spirit is kept in the Master's smile. The everlasting gospel, 3 angels in flight, stay chill in the message
Stay chill in the message. The city lies as a square, its length is as its wide, with the glory of the Master flowing like a tide. The wall was made of jasper, and the city was pure gold, like clear, clear glass that the memories hold. The foundations of the wall were adorned with every stone, the greatest of the colors that the world has known. City of pure gold, in the golden hour, witnessing the wisdom and the Spirit's power, sapphire and chastity, emerald and sardonyx too, sparkling in the morning and the early dew. The 12 gates were 12 pearls, each a single perfect gem, the crown of the creation and the holy diadem. The street of the city was pure gold, transparent as the glass, where the spirit of the faithful is allowed to pass. No more the dust, and no more the gray. At the very beginning of an eternal day, 12 pearls, city of pure gold. Stay chill in the richness. I looked and behold, a door opened in the sky. Come up here, said the voice from on high. A throne was set in heaven with a rainbow all round, like an emerald light on the hallowed ground. Flashings of lightning and the thunder's own roll in the quietest moment of the Father's soul. 24 elders in the golden hour, casting their crowns before the Spirit's power. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God of all, who was and who is and who hears every call. Sea of glass like crystal in the morning glow, watching all the wisdom of the Spirit flow. Living creatures with the eyes and the wings, singing of the glory that the eternity brings. Worthy is the Master who created everything under the protection of the Father's wing. A door standing open, 24 elders stay chill in the worship.
Then I saw another beast coming from the ground, with two horns like a lamb and a holy sound. But he spoke like a dragon with a voice of the flame, faking the Spirit and the Master's name. He performs great signs in the middle of the day, bringing fire from the heavens to lead the soul astray. The beast from the earth in the golden hour, mocking the wisdom and the Spirit's power. He tells the world to make an image of the first, filling the Spirit with a different kind of thirst. It was granted him to give a breath to the stone, the greatest of the deceptions that the world has known. The morning stays bright, but the shadows are deep, while the rest of the nations are starting to sleep. Watch for the sheep's clothing in the early light, turning the darkness into the sight. The beast from the earth, two horns like a lamb. Stay chill and watch. The fifth seal opened, and I saw beneath the throne the souls of the faithful that the Master had known. They were slain for the word and the witness they bore, standing at the threshold of the heavens' door. How long, O Lord, holy and true? They cried out loud in the morning blue. White robes for the brave in the early dawn, when the struggle of the Spirit is finally gone. Rest a little longer was the word they were told, until the greatest story is finally unrolled under the altar in the golden light, turning the darkness into the sight. A moment of peace in the middle of the flame, carrying the spark and the holy name, until the number is full and the time is just right, following the rhythm of the Master's light. Under the altar, white robes for the brave, stay chill in the rest. War broke out in heaven in the middle of the blue. Michael and his angels were steady and were true. They fought against the dragon and the dragon's dark host, from the edge of the sky to the spirit's coast. The ancient serpent was cast down to the earth in the middle of the moment of the kingdom's birth. War in the morning sky, and the victory is won by the blood of the Lamb and the work of the Son. The accuser is fallen, who accused them day and night, turning the darkness into the sight. Rejoice, O heavens, and you who dwell within, for the end of the shadow and the end of the sin. Overcame him by the word of their breath, and they didn't love their lives even unto death. Now have come the salvation and the power of the one in the radiant light of the morning sun. War in the morning sky, Michael and the dragon stay chill in the triumph.
The fifth seal opened, and I saw beneath the throne the souls of the faithful that the Master had known. They were slain for the word and the witness they bore, standing at the threshold of the heaven's door. How long, O Lord, holy and true? They cried out loud in the morning blue. White robes for the brave in the early dawn, when the struggle of the Spirit is finally gone. Rest a little longer was the word they were told, until the greatest story is finally unrolled under the altar in the golden light, turning the darkness into the sight. A moment of peace in the middle of the flame, carrying the spark and the holy name, until the number is full and the time is just right, following the rhythm of the Master's light. Under the altar, white robes for the brave, stay chill in the rest. When the dragon saw he was cast down to the sand, he pursued the woman across the desert land.
but she was given two wings of a great, great bird, the quietest of the help that the morning heard, to fly into the wilderness, to her own secret place, in the quiet of reflection of the Master's face. Wings of the eagle in the early dawn, when the danger of the flood is finally gone. The serpent cast a river to wash her away, but the earth opened up in the middle of the day. It swallowed the water, and it kept her so still, following the rhythm of the Master's will. The dragon was enraged, and he went to make war with the rest of her children at the Spirit's door. Those who keep the commands and the witness of the light, turn in the darkness into the sight. Wings of the eagle, shelter in the wilderness, stay chill in the protection.
I saw in the right hand a book with 7 seals, the secret of the ages that the Spirit reveals. But no one was found who was worthy to look, to open up the mystery of the holy book. Then one of the elders said, "Do not weep today, for the Lion of Judah has conquered the way, the Lion and the Lamb in the morning sun, taking the victory that has already been won. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain for the men, to bring back the glory to the Spirit again, with every tribe and tongue in the golden blue light, turning the darkness into the sight." To him be the blessing and the honor and might. In the middle of the shadow and the middle of the light, the prayers of the saints in the golden blue bowl, in the quiet reflection of the Master's soul, the Lion and the Lamb. Worthy is the Lamb. Stay chill in the grace. Israel set out with all that he had, with a heart that was weary and a heart that was glad. At the well of Beersheba, he offered his prayer to the God of his fathers. Cooling air, in the visions of night, the Lord spoke his name, lighting the path with a holy flame. Do not be afraid to go down to the Nile, for I will be with you every mile. I will make you a nation so great and so wide, with the Rock of the Ages walking by your side. I will bring you back up to the land of your birth, a promise of heaven to the people of earth. From the altar, and he continued the way in the golden reflection of a brand new day. 70 souls in the dust and the light, moving through shadows to find the sight. Beersheba visions, do not be afraid, stay chill in the promise. The famine was heavy, and the grain was all gone. Jacob looked at his sons in the early dawn. Go back and buy us food, he said with a sigh. But Judah spoke the truth with a steady eye. We cannot see his face
without the youngest one. I will be the guarantee for your favorite son. The second journey and Benjamin's price, walking once again to the land of the spice. Take the best of the land and a double of the gold to pay for the mercy that is yet to be told. Jacob let him go with a prayer and a hand to the golden palace in the Egyptian land. They stood before the house where the viceroy stayed, waiting for the moment and the plans that were made. The dreamer was waiting with a heart full of rain to wash away the sorrow and the ancient pain. The second journey, Benjamin's price, stayed chill in the courage. Joseph brought his brothers to the Pharaoh's throne to be welcomed as guests and to be clearly known. What is your occupation? The king asked with grace. We are shepherds, they said, in that hallowed space. Let him stay in Goshen, the Pharaoh decreed, the best of the land for every need. The land of Goshen, where the waters flow, watching the blessing of the Spirit grow. A place of peace in the middle of need, from the tiny grain to the golden seed. Jacob blessed Pharaoh with a hand so old, a story of mercy that is finally told. Joseph provided for his father and kin, away from the hunger and the sorrow within. Settled in the light of the Egyptian sun, the journey of the dreamer is finally won. The land of Goshen, best of the land, stay chill in the rest. Amen.
Listen to this dream that I had in the night. Joseph spoke with a heart full of wonder and light. We were binding the sheaves in the middle of the field when my bundle stood up and yours had to yield. They hated him more for the things that he saw, for the breaking of the line and the family law. The sun and the moon and the 11 stars bowing to him from the heavens afar. A vision of glory in the afternoon haze, under the warmth of the Father's gaze. Will you really reign? The Father asked low, watching the mystery of the dreamer grow. His brothers were jealous, and their words were cold, but his father kept the matter in his soul to hold. A dreamer of dreams in the cooling air, leaving the future in the Master's care. Bundles of wheat, the sun, moon, and stars stay chill in the vision. Stay chill in the vision.
When Joseph saw Benjamin with the men at the gate, he said to his steward, "Prepare for the state. These men will dine with me at the noon, under the rhythm of a heavenly tune." The brothers were frightened by the palace of stone, not knowing the mercy that was yet to be shown. The feast at noon in the golden blue light, a table prepared in the middle of sight. The portions were served by the master's own hand, the greatest of favors in the Egyptian land. 5 times more for the youngest one's play in the quietest moment of a brotherly faith. His heart was so full, feeling the deep and the Spirit's own pull. He wept in his chamber, then washed off his face, returning to dinner in the palace of grace. The feast at noon, dining with the ruler, stay chill at the banquet.
So Israel set out with all that he had, with a heart that was weary and a heart that was glad. At the well of Beersheba he offered his prayer to the God of his fathers in the cooling air. In the visions of night the Lord spoke his name, lighting the path with a holy flame. Do not be afraid to go down to the Nile, for I will be with you. Every mile I will make you a nation, so great and so wide, with the rock of the ages walking by your side. I will bring you back up to the land of your birth, a promise of heaven to the people of earth. He rose from the altar and he continued the way in the golden reflection of a brand new day. 70 souls in the dust and the light, moving through shadows to find the sight. Beersheba visions, do not be afraid, stay chill in the promise.
Now Joseph was the governor and the Lord of the land, with the lives of the people in his steady hand. His brothers came and bowed with their faces to the floor, just like the sheaves of wheat in the dream he saw before. He knew them in a moment, but he kept his heart concealed, speaking through a voice that wouldn't be revealed. The viceroy's cold faces and the questions like a sword. You are spies from the desert, was the master's word. No, my lord, we are honest, 12 sons of a man, trying to survive the best way we can. Do you remember the dreams from the days of your youth? In the middle of the light and the shadow of the truth. He put them in the prison for 3 long days to test the heavy spirit and the ancient ways. A mirror for the them and the pit where he had been. In the quiet of the palace and the silence within. Do you remember the dreams? The viceroy's cold face. Stay chill in the testing. The 7 years of plenty had faded into the sand as the shadow of the famine stretched across the land. When Jacob saw the hunger in his children's eyes, he looked toward the south under the empty skies. Why do you look at each other? I hear there's grain in the Nile. Go down and buy us life and travel for a while. Dust on the road to the land of the king, not knowing the mercy that the journey would bring. 10 brothers walking with their sacks and their gold, as the secrets of the past started to unfold. Only Benjamin stayed by the old man's side, as the shadows of the hunger had nowhere to
high. They didn't know the dreamer was sitting on the throne, waiting in the silence for the brothers he had known. The world was getting dry and the spirit was getting lean, in the middle of a story that was yet to be seen. The famine begins, dust on the road. Stay chill in the journey.
Inside the walls where the sunlight couldn't reach, the lessons of the spirit that the shadows teach. But the Lord was with him in the inner cell, in the middle of the story. He was meant to tell, the warden saw the grace upon his face and made him the master of that lonely place. Favor in the shadow, a light within the stone, a presence of the Father that he'd always known. Whatever he did, the Lord made it thrive, keeping the dream and the mission alive. The prisoner of hope in the cool of the night, turning the darkness into the sight. No more the cloak of many colors and pride, only the truth that he carried inside, waiting for the moment, waiting for the day, as the chains of the prison started to melt away. The Lord in the dungeon, favor in the shadows, stay chill in the waiting.
Jacob lived in the land where his father had stayed, under the canopy that the heavens had made. But he loved Joseph more than all of the rest. A special favor burning in his breast. He made him a robe with 1,000 hues, like the morning sun and the evening blues. A coat of many colors in the golden blue light, a gift of love in the middle of sight. But the brothers watched with a heavy eye under the gaze of the cannon sky. They couldn't speak a word that was kind or true, as the shadow of envy started to grow and brew. Favored son in a world of strife, walking the path of a sheltered life. The robe was a promise, the robe was a sign of a destiny woven by a hand divine. The coat of many colors, favored son, stay chill in the fields. The news reached the house of the Pharaoh king. Joseph's brothers are here. The hallways did ring. Take the wagons of Egypt, the Pharaoh said. Bring your father and wives to be richly fed. Don't worry about your things in the land of the old, for the best of this empire is yours to hold. The wagons of Egypt rolling through the sand to bring a new life from a distant land. Gifts of silver
and garments of white, a journey of hope in the middle of sight. Joseph is alive. The message was clear, casting away every shadow and fear. Jacob's heart went numb. He couldn't believe the joy of the Spirit he was meant to receive. But he saw the wagons and the gold and the grain washing away all the ancient pain. It is enough, the old man said with a sigh. I will see my son before I die. The wagons of Egypt, good news for Jacob. Stay chill on the road.
Joseph could not restrain himself more. Clear the room, he cried from the floor. His weeping was heard through the palace of stone. A sound of a brother that was finally known. Come close to me, he said through his tears. Don't be afraid of the passing years. I am Joseph, is your father alive? The dream that was meant for us to survive, God sent me ahead to preserve the life, to take away the hunger and the heavy strife. It wasn't your hand, but the Father's own plan to save the family and every woman and man. He threw his arms around Benjamin's neck, washing away the sorrow and wreck. He kissed all his brothers and he wept on them all. In the golden glory of the Master's call, I am Joseph, the great reveal. Stay chill in the forgiveness.
Joseph was taken to the land of the Nile, winning the favor with a spirit and smile. Potiphar saw that the Lord was near, casting away every shadow of fear. He put him in charge of everything he owned, in a palace of stone that was newly known. In Potiphar's house, the blessing was deep, a promise the heavens were happy to keep. The fields and the home, they flourished and grew, in the quiet of the morning and the afternoon dew. A servant with a crown that no one could see, walking the path of his destiny. Well built and handsome to the eye, under the gaze of the Egyptian sky. Success in his hands and peace in his soul, making the broken and the master whole. In Potiphar's house, the blessing of the servant stayed chill in the service. The master's wife looked with a longing eye in the quiet halls as the sun went by. Come stay with me, she whispered in the dark. But Joseph carried a different kind of spark. How could I do this great and wicked thing and sin against the Father and the King? Integrity in the palace, a soul that wouldn't bend, faithful to the master and the master's end. She caught his cloak, but he fled into the day, turning the shadow and the temptation away. A silent victory in the golden blue light, keeping the spirit pure and within the sight. The lie was told and the anger started to burn, a bitter twist at every single turn.
for a deed he didn't do. In the cooling silence and the morning dew, the refusal, integrity in the palace, stay chill even in the chain.